Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have decided to do a YouTube series and it's going to be called 5 Things, and basically because one, it gives me structure, so it's easier for me to think about what to say and think about what to do, and two, hopefully it will stop me rambling. So it is Easter today, so happy Easter. I decided to do 5 things to reduce food guilt because I know today of all days, one day where a lot of people really struggle with anxiety around food because of the chocolate, all of the chocolate, the Easter eggs, stuff like that, and often families go out for meals or you'll go around to a family's house for a roast or something like that. So I want to give you some tips on how to reduce the anxiety around not knowing what's in your food, or anxiety around going out for food or having drinks and things like that. So let's begin. My number 1 tip is get rid of every single calorie counting app that you have on your phone, on your laptop, on your computer. Calorie counting apps make money by making you feel like you are not good enough or your body isn't good enough, so they're just not good for you. Giving like numbers to food is just not healthy. Like, we should just see food as food and we should enjoy food as it is. I recommend, like, I know it's hard to, you'll be like, well, how do I know how much to eat? How do I know if I'm overeating or undereating? And I recommend, one, listening to your body, but I know it's not as easy as that. So learn to understand portion control. Now, I know in the past I have obviously massively undereaten when I was poorly with like anorexia, but then after that I was massively overeating. I was eating probably double what I needed to eat, and over the years I've educated myself on portion control, and I don't need scales, I don't need to weigh anything out. I literally can just kind of look at a plate and know, is that too much, is that too little? But equally, if you feel like maybe you've gone out for a meal and the portion is really big, don't worry about it, just eat it. I think for protein, people say like your handful of protein is what you should have on your plate. For carbs, it's a cup, so if you were to cup your hand like this, that should be carbs, the amount of carbs. So say that's rice, potato, or something like that. And for fats, I think it's like the thumb of fats. But that's just a starting point to be able to bring you away from the calorie counting apps and just begin to kind of listen to your body. Number 2, eat everything in moderation. I was always somebody who was like, right, I'm going to eat really healthy Monday to Friday, and then when it comes to Saturday, Sunday, I binged out on crap, and I felt as though my weekend was kind of like the time where food didn't matter and I couldn't get fat if it was at the weekend. So I have learned over the years, and I know it's hard because you're like, how do I only eat 1 piece of chocolate? And I was always like that when people used to kind of write on Instagram and things like that. So you just have to teach yourself to, like, if on a Monday I want a biscuit, I'll have a biscuit, and then if on a Tuesday I want a biscuit, I'll have a biscuit, and I don't restrict myself from any foods no matter what day it is. I eat chocolate and stuff like that every single day, and that means that when it comes to times like Easter or Christmas and things like that, I never feel the need to binge on certain foods because I have it every day. Number 3 is stop labelling foods as good and bad, because yeah, there are foods which are gonna nourish your body, and that's things like whole foods, so your different meats. If you don't eat meats, then your veggies, beans, seeds, avocados, potatoes, rice, things like that, like foods that haven't really been through a process to be made. And then you've got your other foods, which I call soul foods, so I think they benefit your soul and they nourish your soul. So to me, like, I love biscuits, chocolates, I've got quite a sweet tooth, so I love my dessert, sticky toffee pudding. Like, I used to say, right, okay, well, this is healthy food and this is really unhealthy food. It would be my cheat food, whereas now like I just see food as food, and yes, I do want to nourish my body like 80% of the time. I want to eat those foods that make me feel good and make me perform at my best, but then I still save room for the foods that nourish my soul. In that I feel really happy, and I don't feel guilty because I've not labelled any food as bad, so I've never necessarily felt bad for eating it. Number 4 is think about the memories you are making. If you can think about making happy times and spending time with your loved ones, and you can think about that stuff over the calories and the food guilt, then you're going to feel happier, because ultimately when you are older and you're looking back, you're going to remember the memories. You're not going to remember the time you sat there and you ate half your Easter egg because it didn't fit your macros. So that is a really important point to me, and that's one thing that helped me kind of realise and come away from being so obsessive about food, because I just thought like I'm going to care about the people who are around me and the times that are going to make me smile when I look back, not having abs. Number 5, which is probably one of the most important things to me, and one thing I preach about everything I do in life, and it is love yourself first. So if you're on a journey right now to gain weight, to lose weight, to change your body, I know that's where food guilt comes into play, because you think, right, well, I've worked really hard and now I'm just I'm throwing it all away, I'm taking 10 steps back. You're not. But if you was to think like right now, in this moment, I love my body, then being on that journey and having all of the foods and maybe having a day where you're eating more chocolate than you usually do, you're not going to feel as guilty. If you can just think like, I love my body as it is, I am going to enjoy the process to getting where I want to be. I'm not going to stress about food, I'm not going to stress about days off training, I'm just going to enjoy the process, make it stress-free. Yes, I'm just going to love my body. Short and sweet. I hope that has helped some people out there. I obviously based it on my own experiences from kind of recovering from anorexia and coming out of bikini prep, and those things have massively helped me along my journey to be able to now just kind of see food as food and enjoy everything in moderation. Tune in for my next 5 things video. If you like this video and you want to see more, then please subscribe and give me a like.